There's the draft order for 2023 as of now. It's always subject to change, and it makes it fun when it does change. There at number 8, the Atlanta Falcons, by virtue of a 7-10 record. The general manager, the guy who'll put the name on the card, maybe not literally, but who knows? Maybe he will. Terry Fontenot is here with us. Now, who puts the name on the card? Who's the person?
It's not really like that anymore. Now everything's digital.
Yeah.
You know,
well, who thumbs it into the phone?
The thumbs it in. It's one of our assistants, but it's
a
low-level
guy.
Now,
a low-level guy that says type
different.
this.
It used to be one of your video directors or equipment managers, and that actually walks it up and does that whole thing and writes it down. But now it's all magic, man. It's digital.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, so you're the first guy we're talking to here at the Combine. Give us your overview of this draft class, right? I think we're all in the beginning stages of this right now. Kind of what's Terry Fontenot's look at this so far?
Man, it's a really good group.
Yeah.
And like you said, you showed it. We're there at 8, and we know we're going to get a really good player at 8. But it's top of the draft, throughout the draft. That's the fun thing about it. Every year there's going to be a player that doesn't get drafted, ends up being a really good football player.
Right.
And we have a really good scouting staff that we're going to go find the players. But, man, it's a really good group. I would say at every position you can find good players.
Yeah.
How much does it bother you to be in the top 10? It's good to be in the top 10 now.
Yeah.
But you get to the top 10 by not being, among the elite. But you guys still were kind of in it. You're in a weird spot where the team seems to be better than people expect it to be.
Right.
But there's still something that hasn't popped through. What do you think is holding the Falcons back?
Well, I would say, first of all, we have a great head coach and a great coaching staff. And look, we knew what we inherited and the situation we were in, and we had a plan, and we're in this phase of the plan, and we knew it was going to be tough sledding those first couple years. And where we put the importance is we want to set the foundation, and we want to set the culture. We want to do those things and win as many games as we can. And we were in 13 one-score games last year, and so we believe we have a tough, smart, competitive team. You're right, we don't want to be in the top 10 anymore moving forward, but we knew these first couple years are going to be challenging, and now it's time to take that next step and improve this football team.
Well, off of his point there, your team itself and kind of how you're explaining, you got the meat and potatoes, right? I mean, you got the O-line, you got Grady Jarrett, you got some guys that you go, what? It almost seems like it's sizzle that's missing. Am I incorrect in saying that? Maybe playmakers or guys that can make a big play late in the game to get you over the hump in that 2-3 point type of football game. Is that fair to say, you think?
Well, I think you're right. We have some good players. I think we have some playmakers too.
I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I know you do.
I think we got a little sizzle.
Yeah.
I think we got some playmakers.
Put me in my spot.
But we have to add. We have to add at every spot. We have to raise the talent level on this team, and it's a complementary game. And so we have to improve every piece and take this team to the next level, but we're really excited about the foundation and the culture.
How can you explain the fact that Cordarrelle Patterson just has
there you go.
What
you just said we don't have sizzle.
Yeah,
we got Cordarrelle
there's
Patterson,
plenty of
man.
sizzle there, but this is a guy
that bothered him when you said that. Trust me.
You'll hear from him. He's hiding in plain sight, receiver. It never worked out in Minnesota, and then he starts to make that shift. But he seems to have really blossomed. Not that he wasn't doing well before, but the last 2 years with you guys, he's been solid.
Yeah, I think it says a lot about our coaching staff. Dave Ragone was with him in Chicago.
Yeah, right.
And he had a lot of conviction about him and what he could be as an offensive player. And I think even when we look at this class of free agents, as we get into free agency, we really believe that. We believe we can tell a player that we have a vision for him, and we can realize that vision, and CP is a good guy to look at because I believe our coaching staff got the most of him, and you can't take away from CP.
Right.
I mean, he's a competitor, man. When he straps it up, he's ready to go, and it's impressive what he can do at his age. It's really impressive, and he loves to compete and loves to play. But I think it says a lot about our coaching staff, and it'll bode well for us moving forward. When we have a vision for a player, we know we have the staff to get it out of him.
Okay, so let's get to the elephant in the room, right? The quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Releasing Marcus Mariota, I think we all knew that was coming. But Desmond Ridder got to play a little bit at the end of the year, did some good things, showed he's a rookie too.
Yeah.
Top 10 draft pick here. I mean, what are we thinking as far as quarterback situation for the Falcons?
Look, we love Desmond.
Yeah.
And, man, Desmond, you're right. He did some really good things.
Yeah.
And every opportunity he gets, man, he approaches it the right way.
Right.
I know you guys
love that about him last year. He was one of our favorite interviews here last year. Yeah.
And any exposure, anytime you're around Desmond, that's exactly who he is.
Yeah.
So he gets in the game. You know how tough it is to play that position.
I know.
And last 4 games, we saw him come off the mat. We saw him have some adversity and come back and fight back. We saw him in critical moments, 3rd down, 4th down, 2 minute, in the game. We saw him do well in those moments.
Right.
And we saw him steady improvement. And he needs to improve in some areas also, but we know he'll do that this offseason because that's the type of guy he is. Now, that being said, we're not in the business of crowning players and anointing players, and we're going to add to the position. Free agency, the draft, or both. We're going to make sure we add to the position and bring in more players, but we're really excited about Desmond.
Yeah, good.
Terry, in your opinion, what is a fair period of time for a quarterback to prove that he's the guy? How many years?
So unique now. It's different. It's different when you were growing up playing quarterback. It's different. Like, you look at all the training and all the 7-on-7 camps and all the. It's just I think we're in a little bit different world. When I was in high school, the quarterbacks threw the ball. We ran like the veer and we throw 5 or 6 passes.
8 passes a game almost, right?
And I was a receiver complaining on Saturday morning to the coaches I wasn't getting the ball enough.
Why are we running power on 3rd and 7?
But it's a different world nowadays with these quarterbacks. So we do see some quarterbacks right away step in and make an impact. Sometimes they don't. A lot of times it has stuff to do with what's around them and the team that they have around them. And again, a complementary game, the offensive line, defensive line, where's their team at? So I think quarterbacks can make an impact right away, depending on the circumstances.
Your team itself, like, well, you know, you got a great feel for the game. I know that, and I don't. What's the biggest spot you look at to go, I think we got to improve this area here? Is anything that just one thing that jumps out to you that you're attacking this offseason?
Well, you always want to. We're going to always prioritize the front.
Yeah,
That's
I know
always,
you are with Arthur Smith.
Yes,
right,
no doubt. With Arthur Smith
and where you came from.
Yes,
right.
It's about the front. O-line, D-line, you have to affect the quarterback, and you have to run the ball and establish a line of scrimmage. And that being said, if you have a great front and players are wide open all over the field, that doesn't make sense. So we have to make sure we add to every spot, but we're always going to prioritize the front.
Yeah, O-line's in a good spot, it seems like. I mean, it's one of the more dominant O-lines in football. I feel like through what you just said there, maybe D-line, those type of players, are you kind of looking for here in free agency draft?
Yeah, but again, even with the D-line,
I know you got some good players.
Yeah, and you know, you have to make sure the coverage has to be tight for those guys to have enough time to get there.
Right.
So in free agency, much like the draft, you don't want to reach.
Right.
And so if it's thin in a certain area, you want to reach. You want to bring in impact players and improve the team. And you don't want to reach with just that free because you don't know what's going to come up, whether it's a trade possibility later on. It's a 24/7, 365 process.
Right.
So you want to make sure you just add impact players in free agency, in the draft, and not reach for a specific need.
Yeah.
Patience is something that can be in short supply when it comes to the quarterback position. How important is the patience that Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons, seems to have with this process of rebuilding, retooling, refocusing the team, given what it used to be and where it's heading?
Well, you know, Arthur Blank he's obviously a very successful businessman, and he's done really well in his life with everything he does, and so he understands that business part of it. And so when we sit down and we discuss the plan and we talk about things, he gets that it takes time, and he doesn't want to, because you can operate a certain way, and we want to build a sustained winner and have sustained championships, because you can build things a certain way and win as much as you can right now, and then that thing can collapse and you won't be in a good spot. He's such a smart businessman that he understands that total part of it, and he's just so supportive in every way. He gets the relationship part of it. He really loves to just support us and help us in any way he can, so he's been great.
Your draft class last year, when you think it's kind of fair to judge that a little bit? I mean, Drake London looked really good, right? Battled some injuries a little bit. Your running back, Tyler Algier, and man, he played well.
Yep.
You know, tell us about that last year's class and kind of the direction they're headed in.
Yeah, we like the class.
Yeah.
I personally think you have to give it a few years before you really...
Like year 3 is kind of where you're looking, right?
That's kind of how we look at it, when you can really grade the class, because some players it's going to take time. Case in point, like from Richie Grant, played mostly special teams his first year, and he took over as a starter this year.
Safety
sometimes
from Pitt, right?
Yes, sir. Sometimes that's the way it happens. So you got a guy like Troy Anderson, our second-round pick. Mostly teams started playing more defense at the end of the season. So sometimes it takes time. What I love about the class is man, those guys are wired the right way.
Yeah.
They want to go out and fight and compete. And we had to play. We have one of the youngest teams in the league. We had to play a lot of young guys over the last 2 years when we talk about our plan and where we were.
Right.
But the guys dealt with some adversity. They kept fighting and kept competing, so they're battle tested.
I just thought, me and Mike, we've pointed these things out during the year. The youngness of your team, where it was when you guys got there. It is crazy that we kind of the last 2 years have gone, man, 7-10 Falcons, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
We don't mean to be disrespectful by saying that, and I know you want better, but you guys are doing good things and building the team the right way.
No, it says a lot about, again, our coaching staff and the culture that we have in the locker room, and that's why when you have guys like Grady Jarrett in the locker room and Jake Matthews and you have these Chris Lindstroms and we have these kind of guys in the locker room, you better make sure you bring in the right kind of guys. So that's where we have to have discipline and bring in the right kind of people.
Well, here's to drafting a lot lower next year.
There we go.
All right,
thanks,
Terry
guys.
Fontenot, Falcons GM, thanks for some of your time. All the best. We hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll be back with more right after this.
Who's next?
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.